10th. We've just got 2 weeks till Christmas. 2 weeks. That's right. 14 days before Christmas.
Christmas Eve. Wow. 2 weeks from today. How about
wow.
that? Huh?
Wow.
Huh?
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, oh, man.
We're not even working that day. How about that?
Woo. Yeah, we've got some special programming, some Mannheim Steamroller.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Here's the forecast for today. If you take a peek out, and some of you are stuck on traffic on 65 northbound down in Shelby County,
Bless your heart.
You know it's sunny and it's beautiful. Now it's going to warm up to about 58. So when we talk about getting close to 60, man, that is very doable. Thursday, sunny skies, high of 50, so it's going to be a little cooler tomorrow. But then Friday, we warm back up to near 61. Saturday, high 62. Don't really see any rain chances. And then we cool back down on Sunday. The high on Sunday, get this, 46 degrees.
Woo!
So it will be a little chilly
Hello.
the first part of next week.
Governor.
We just need to enjoy this weather.
Seems a bit on the brisk side.
We got the sunshine back.
46.
Mm-hmm.
Yee.
It's lovely.
All righty. Well, it's Wednesday, and if you haven't got your Christmas shopping done yet, you've got 13 days to make a move. How quickly does Amazon deliver stuff? Because
sometimes it varies. They're really, really quick. Sometimes you order. I've had the experience of ordered something, and I thought, well, it'll be here in 3 or 4 days, and then it's like now it's day 5, day 6, and it didn't quite make it for Christmas. So you take a little gamble doing that. That's all I'm saying.
I sat down. I started making a list yesterday. That was as far as I got. I made a list of the people that I have to get presents for, and then I put what I thought I might get them next to it. And if I didn't have any idea, I put question marks. There's a lot of question marks on this list.
Well, there's always the blue light special in Leeds.
Exactly.
And there's beautiful things there.
Frequently, I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to get them, but I'll know it when I see it.
Yeah, but you don't have time to run around and see it. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
We're all so busy. It's like, well, if I haven't thought of it by now.
It's easier for me to just stop being friends with them, actually. Overall, that's probably
you
probably
break
what
up
I'm
with
gonna
them
do.
before Valentine's
Listen,
Day? I'll just break up with them.
I never cared for you. That's why I didn't get you a present, and we're done.
What's
as
wrong
friends.
with
It's
you?
over.
Listen.
Yeah. It's easier for me to admit than I didn't have time to go shopping. I'm sorry, I let time get away from me. Oopsie.
I'll just give you the list of things that I would like, and then you can pick from there, Richard.
That sounds good to me.
How about that? Would you like that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Bring that on.
I'll come up with a list.
I overheard somebody talking the other day about exactly this. It was a family. They were dining together. I can't remember where we were. And a young girl was saying, okay, so everybody, you draw names, and then the name you get, they give you a list of 3 things they want. And you get one of those things, and Grandma gets the other 2. And I'm like, Grandma's getting stuck with a
Grandma's
lot of
rich.
Because there's like 14 people in this family.
That doesn't
so
seem right. Why is Grandma
buying,
getting stuck
28
with that?
items. And she says, well, everybody gets Grandma a gift.
Sure.
So Grandma gets to receive everything, and then you only have to buy one present for one other person, and Grandma gets the other stuff. So everybody gets 3 presents in the end. And I'm like,
you know what? Listen, by the time you're Grandma, you get to slow down and not have to run around and buy all those gifts and wrap them.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem right.
No,
She's
I
been doing
agree.
that her whole life.
this is why
Grandma, you get a break.
I stopped by their table and I said, listen, can you adopt me? I would like to be a part of your family.
Absolutely.
This sounds like my kind of place.
I've already bought 2 gifts for myself that my
Boughten?
family
Did you say
bought.
boughten?
Sorry, bought.
I
I've
like
already
Boughten.
bought.
How do you spell
Slipped
that?
Out.
That was a Midwestern term
I
right
bought
there.
2 gifts.
Yeah.
They're wrapped. They're under the tree.
Okay.
And they're from the family to me.
All righty. Good for you.
Be very surprised when you
I
open
wanted
them,
to
okay?
make sure I got these 2 gifts.
Look, I've done it. I have
well,
absolutely
because they
done
all
it.
said, what do you want for Christmas? And I was like, it'll be under the tree. Don't you worry about it.
I'll be
I
out
got
and
it
about and I'll be
covered.
like, I can't turn that deal down. I better buy that, and I'll wrap it up, put it under the tree for me.
I did. I was like,
Absolutely.
the Christmas is getting really easy because I'll
Something
get
open.
exactly what I want. I
This
buy
is
it, I
something
wrap
right.
it myself, I put it under the tree.
Damn Skippy.
From the family
That's
to
the way.
Valerie.
That's the way we play it. Yeah, you get to a certain age and you get to do that if you want to.
There's already too much stuff. We're to the too much stuff point, Richard.
Yeah, I know.
I'm trying to delete. Part of the family keeps adding. I'm like, we're trying to delete.
We're getting rid of stuff.
Delete.
We're removing things.
Thank goodness for
Didn't
the move.
you get the memo?
The move helped a lot.
Yeah,
but
there's-
not enough. I need to do that like 3 more times.
Yeah. You know what I need? I need a new refrigerator for my porch.
Oh.
Anybody feel like going and dropping $600 on a new fridge for Dixon?
Listen, you can find a new used, dented up a little bit on the side or something,
Yeah.
and put it out there for next to nothing.
Look, I love Louis.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm a
If
big
it
fan.
doesn't go in the, your main kitchen.
Right.
I've got one in the garage. I absolutely thank goodness for that second fridge in the garage.
But
That's been a
Facebook-
lifesaver.
I can't do Facebook Marketplace because you don't know whether or not the thing actually runs,
Yeah, you take a little gamble.
Exactly. I know for a fact that people sell refrigerators that don't work on Facebook Marketplace because I've done it. So,
That's terrible.
I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Somebody I know
Yeah,
did,
find
though.
you a scratch and dent one. You'll be fine.
Denson and Fuller, my insurance agents, Crescent Avenue and Homewood, 414-1476. If you're not dealing with Denson and Fuller, then chances are good you're paying too much and not getting the kind of service that you deserve. These guys are local, they're independent, and they work for you, not for some big insurance company. That's why you really need to get in touch with them. Find them online at densonandfuller.com or call them up at 414-1476. Tell them exactly what it is you need insured. They'll come back with a quote for you. Chances are very, 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 very good. It's going to be lower than what you're paying now, and I can vouch for the service being second to none. Denson and Fuller, 414-1476.
Well, we haven't mentioned this yet, but it happened yesterday afternoon and got alerts and whatnot. One person dead, another injured in a shooting at Kentucky State University. Investigators say that the shooting appeared to be an isolated incident rather than a mass shooting. But anytime you hear about something like this on a college campus, it's like, oh no, where are we going with this? Police responded to the report of a shooting at about 3:10 p.m. near Whitney M. Young Jr. Hall, which is a student dorm on Kentucky State University's campus. The suspect was taken into custody very quickly and is not apparently a student at KSU. The suspect is Jacob Lee Baird of Evansville, Indiana. He's now facing murder and assault charges. Don't know what the motive is. Don't know what the connection is between these two students and this suspect. But either way, what a tragedy and how scary for students on that university. Anytime you get the alerts, hey, we've got a shooting happening on campus. So let's hope that we find out a little bit more about what led to this. And was it random or did he have a beef with
Apparently,
these two people?
it was targeted. That's
Yeah,
what
kinda
that's
looks
what
that
they've been
way.
able to figure thus far. But we don't know the reason. We don't know the motive. We don't know anything about it except that one person is dead and one person is in custody. At least they got the guy.
Yeah, thank goodness that
That's
they
good
did.
news.
A former UAB football player accused of stabbing two fellow players has been granted a request from a Jefferson County judge that he can move to Florida while awaiting his court date. Now, hang on a second. He's accused of stabbing two fellow players, and the judge says, yes, you can go to Florida and await your court date. This is over the state's objection. Judge William Bell Jr. approved the motion request from 20-year-old Daniel Mincy. Daniel Mincy wants to live with his grandmother in Pompano Beach, Florida. Mincy's charged with attempted murder and first-degree assault. This was on November 23rd. If you all remember this story, the stabbing of Joshua Underwood and Josiah Peterson. The two men were stabbed hours before the Blazers' senior day game. Both victims were hospitalized. Mincy was initially held on a $90,000 bond, but released last week under court-approved conditions. His preliminary hearing is now set for January 8th before Judge Bell. I think a lot of people are asking, why are you releasing this guy from jail? And I understand the bond at $90,000, and now you're going to allow him to move to Florida?
Yeah.
Some 800, 900 miles away.
I wonder how his bail bondsman feels about that. And 90,000 seems low to me for 2 counts of attempted murder, which is what we're dealing with here. I think it's safe to say his football career is over.
Yeah, he's no longer on the team and
Yeah.
will no longer be.
I don't think anyone wants him on their team any longer. So
Kind of done.
And then to allow him to move to a whole other state, but he's living with grandma. Maybe that's the situation, is that he didn't have anywhere else to live. If he's been kicked off the team, he's no longer in the team dorm. He no longer has a bed at the university. He's got to sleep someplace. Maybe that's why. I don't know. I'm speculating right now. This is all guesswork.
It is, and again, scratch our heads about why the judge would allow this, but apparently he is, and maybe we'll get some more answers on the 8th of January, what's going on with that. We got some really exciting news for the state of Alabama yesterday. Pharmaceutical company is going to bring a lot of jobs and revenue to our state. It is Eli Lilly, well known. They plan to invest about $6 billion, that's with a B, into the new GLP-1 manufacturing facility that will be built in Huntsville, Alabama. The company is going to bring about 450 high-value jobs. They need engineers, scientists, operations, personnel, lab techs. This is going to be a massive facility. And to build this facility, they will need 3,000 construction workers, and so you'll have those jobs. And it will be completed a number of years from now. 2032 is what they're looking at. But, apparently there were like 300 applicants to have this facility built. Texas has got one. Virginia's got one. And then they're also going to expand their site in Puerto Rico. But congratulations to Huntsville and congratulations to our state. Again, that is a big, big deal that we were able to land that from Eli Lilly. And exciting.
Real positive.
Yeah,
for
very.
Us. I got to figure that this actually happened on Kay Ivy's watch. A lot of stuff that happened on her watch during her first and even part of her second term, people said, well, that was actually all started under Bentley. But this is so late in the game, it has to have been her that facilitated all of this. She or Will Ainsworth or somebody, one of the big high muckety-mucks in the state, right?
You would think so. Or some officials in Huntsville that said, look, we got all this positive stuff that's happening in this city. It's growing. People want to live here. It's not very far from Tennessee. You got Atlanta not very far. I mean, it's a great spot to put this.
Got to have tax incentives and things of that nature as well, though, which have to be handled by the state. So good work, state people, whoever were responsible for this. Good work. Also good work, if you can get it, is loading and unloading storage facilities. If you are a mover and you get the call to say, well, we need you to take some stuff to a storage facility for us, you show up with a truck and you load the truck up and then you drive it to the storage facility and you unload it and then you go back and you make another trip because that's how long it takes over and over again. You're getting paid by the hour and you're making a lot of money, which is nice for you, not for the people who need to store stuff. This is why Units Moving and Portable Storage is the new and better way to store. They bring the unit to you. A 12-foot or a 16-foot unit on your property you fill with your stuff. Then they put it somewhere on the property that's out of the way, if that's what you want, or they take it to the 30,000 square foot facility in Alabaster and put it there. Either way, your stuff is in it, and you can get it anytime you want. You say, bring that thing back over here. We're ready to unload. Well, then you unload at your leisure as well. You're not having to pay somebody a whole bunch of money. You don't have to pay them repeatedly over and over and over again to go get stuff, and you don't have to make the trip yourself. All your stuff is right there. Very, very accessible to you. You can find out more at unitsofbirmingham.com. Unitsofbirmingham.com. You can get a quote right there on the website for what it would take to get them to drop this thing off, and you're going to be pleasantly surprised by the price, I think. Units Moving and Portable Storage, unitsofbirmingham.com, 236-0205, 236-0205. It's the new and better way to move and store. Wasn't Andy Griffith in this video? I want to say
One of his last appearances on camera.
Yeah, he looked a little rough. He was old.
Just a little.
I mean, he was old as Matlock, but he was even older here. It's like Matlock's dad. I noticed that Matlock is now a woman. Did you notice that? Did you see that?
Kathy Bates, who's looking a little rough around the edge, too.
Listen, we're all getting older.
Something
That's the way
about
it
that
works.
role, apparently, it kills you. I have no idea. Doesn't seem right somehow.
It doesn't.
823 Dixon Dividing Talk 99.5 Talk99.5.com.
You know, one of the ultimate Christmas gifts that you could give someone on your list, if it is time to maybe find a new home. How about that? Put a new bow on the front door of a new home that you find. And one of the things that you really need to have nowadays, I mean, it almost goes without saying, but you got to have a mortgage group like New Beginnings Mortgage Solutions to make it happen. That's that pre-approval letter. And let me tell you what, Chris Molesky and his crew of folks over at New Beginnings Mortgage Solutions can make that happen. I remember calling him going, look, I found this house. I need the letter. He goes, oh, no problem. Give me a few hours. I gave him some information. Boom. As quickly as that, if you have things all lined up and everything's together, New Beginnings Mortgage Solutions can get you a pre-approval letter very, very quickly. So if you're looking for a home, go ahead and get that now so that when you do run across the home of your dreams, the one that you've really wanted to get, it's checked all the boxes, you've got the letter to make sure that nobody jumps in front of you and ends up getting that house ahead of you. So get in touch with New Beginnings Mortgage Solutions. They're here in Birmingham, ready to assist you. You can call them at 205-989-7171 or savewith995.com. Call them today. Get in touch with them today. Get everything lined up, and then look for the home of your dreams and land it with New Beginnings Mortgage Solutions. NMLS 238143, Equal Housing Lender.
Kamala Harris back in the news as yesterday she gave a speech in which she declared herself an historic figure.
Indeed you are. We'll never forget you.
Oh, yeah?
In what aspect?
Well, she's the first Democratic candidate for president to lose the popular vote since 2004. She was the first Democratic president for candidate to lose every single swing state. And she was the first African-American, well, she's not actually African-American, a black female presidential candidate to lose to Donald Trump. So, yeah, she's historic.
And she claimed it. She declared it.
She declared it.
Congratulations.
That's what's so great. No one else has said it. She's saying it.
Well, she was speculating and musing a bit about 2028. So I'm going to guess that she wants to throw her hat into that ring. But I don't know that she is going to get that nomination. I really feel like the Democratic Party is going to be like, oh, no. We gave you $2 billion and 107 days and a really good head start, and all you had to do was beat Donald Trump, and you didn't win a single swing state. So, no. Go sit down, Kamala. Go sit down. You're done.
You know, I feel like Kamala Harris really did it to herself there in the end, trying to do all those interviews that were all disastrous.
Yeah.
And people understood that. They already knew kind of what they were getting. But once they saw that, they were like, here we go, more word salad. And they're editing it up for her. Mm-hmm. And this woman who couldn't do much as a vice president and did a horrible job, and specifically at the southern border. You know, you were the czar. Joe Biden made you the czar of the southern border. Wouldn't go, couldn't couldn't close it up, couldn't do anything with it. And then, again, these interviews that were just, those were historic. I'll never forget those.
They were historic. Yeah, and the problem, of course, was that she did none up front, you know. She wouldn't even do so much as a press gaggle. She refused to talk to the press for, out of 107 days, I want to say probably 50 of them. And then when she realized, I'm making no headway here, like I have stalled out in the polls, I can't eclipse Joe Biden, I can't get past where he was, she suddenly decided that she had to do a whole lot of interviews at once. So she started going and doing them, you know, in hostile territory. But the Bret Baier one was enough to sink her alone. I mean, you know, she came across so badly in that was pretty much all it took for America to go like, oh, okay, we vote no. That's a no vote from us. We say that, but of course, you know, she got a lot of votes. She got 49% of the vote, you know.
It's still head shaking.
It really is.
I don't understand
where
49% of our country is when they look at, well, look at New York City with Mom Donnie.
Yeah.
Did we ever believe that somebody that's a socialist, or as Trump says, a communist, would be elected to that position, and knowing what's coming for the city of New York? I mean, we all of us said it before. We'll say it now. We'll say it a year from now. I don't think Mom Donnie is going to bring us any surprises, that New York is going to get exactly what they're going to get with Mom Donnie.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's safe to say. I mean, again, it's a little bit like, remember when they were talking about reimagining policing? And you go, guys, there's no reimagining it. Policing has been the same for all these years. It's the same with socialism when somebody goes, well, we're just going to do it differently. No, there's only one way to do socialism, and it has never worked. It has never worked once, not yet. Look at Cuba, socialist nation. Complete and utter disaster. It's a disaster. Everybody's talking about how bad it is. The Soviet Union fell because socialism was a disaster. Venezuela had to turn to narco-terrorism to fund their country because socialism is such a disaster. The only place where you could say socialism of any kind is working is in China, and that's because it's a truncated format that is allowing several individuals to still engage in capitalism, and they're the ones who are keeping things afloat. Yeah, it's amazing to me. Anytime they come up and they go, we're going to do it differently, it's going to have the same result.
Listen, it's not like it's not been tested.
No,
we've done it.
Exactly.
You're not going to be able to do it any differently.
Yeah.
It's not going to work just because your name's on the door.
2 and 2 going to keep adding up to 4, guys. That's the way that works.
Easy. This is easy.
Mm-hmm. Good luck with it. Hey, I don't know. Kamala in 28 might be an interesting thing. She against Buttigieg and Gavin Newsom.
Yeah. I'm
else?
sure Pete has a few choice words for Kamala Harris
Shapiro?
based on not selecting him as VP.
Yeah.
And the reasons for it.
Probably a little ticked about that. Maybe they'll team up in 28. Give us a lot of entertainment. 8:30, Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5. unlikely.
Actually, if you go through Atlanta at midnight on Christmas Eve,
Yeah.
it is actually peaceful.
Okay.
That's the only
That's
time.
the only time it ever is, though.
All righty. Steve knows. He's been there. For
Yeah,
sure.
drove through there. I was coming back from visiting my dad and my grandmother up in North Carolina, and we were coming back on Christmas Eve.
Christmas
No
Eve.
one on
Hit
the
Atlanta
interstate.
at midnight.
Yeah.
It was the one time we breezed through Atlanta.
Peace on earth that night for sure.
Yeah, no, it's so funny because when many times I have to do that as well. I've got family that live there. I'm like, I'm not going to come during peak drive time.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's a joke.
Yeah.
All day is peak drive time.
That's the thing about
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
I'm like, okay, there's no good time to go.
I consider myself so lucky to not have gotten the job there. There was a job that I was up for, and I didn't get it. And every time I go through there, I'm just like, thank the good Lord I don't live here. I could never take it. I could never take it. We were talking earlier about being in a big, long traffic jam, and then you get to a place where everything just kind of breaks free, and you go, there was no accident here. What were we all? Too many cars, not enough pavement. That's all it is. Too many cars, not enough pavement will make you insane. 7 o'clock on a Friday night, you can't move in
No.
that city.
Yeah, you cannot.
It's insane. Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. You don't have to move much to order a gift for a loved one from Contri Brothers gift baskets and flowers. Contri Brothers has got all the good stuff, man. We are talking about baskets full of goodies of all different kinds. Something for any and every occasion. It could be a get well basket if you got somebody who's not feeling well, not feeling their absolute best. How about a 6-pack of fillets? Huh? You know, somebody who's a real carnivore, that might be perfect for you. There's a candy basket, candy canes, and a whole lot more. The Snacker's Delight. There's the fruit basket, fruit and crackers. Floral arrangements galore. In fact, you can add a floral arrangement to any basket. You can also add a stuffed animal like a teddy bear. You can add a bottle of wine. There's all kinds of wine gifts. There's gourmet meats. Just go to the website and take a look for yourself. ContriBrothers.com. Contri Brothers, C-O-N-T-R-I, brothers.com. Been in business in the Birmingham metro area for more than 100 years, delivering gift baskets for any occasion. Perfect for Christmas, especially for employees or clients. If you have to send a lot of them, it's a point-click operation. It is so easy and convenient. ContriBrothers.com to find out more. There you go. They had to cancel a couple of fishing tournaments in Alabama due to sudden enforcement of long-standing permit requirements. They've had the permit requirements forever. No one's ever asked to see the permits. And after that accident that took place on Smith Lake that killed 3 people, suddenly it's like, boys, we're going to have to see that permit. We never needed one before. Well, you need one now.
Yeah, because they don't want an incident like this again. There's been all kinds of lawsuits and things like that.
Sure.
And the state's like, well, you know what? We haven't been enforcing this. We're going to enforce it. We don't need another crash like this.
Exactly.
And we saw the video of that, Richard.
Oh, it's horrible.
When you hear about the story, it was very early in the morning. We're thinking fog on the lake. We know how the bass fishermen do. They have to take off. They scoot across the lake very fast to get set up and positioned in the area they want to be in. So we're thinking, okay, it's a little dark. There's a little fog. He couldn't see. It was rounding a corner.
Nope.
None of that.
Nope.
None of that is what we saw on video.
Nope.
Clear morning, no fog, and this guy's hauling butt across the lake at I don't know what speed, but I mean he's
It was
flying.
fast.
And the other boat's just sitting in the water.
Yeah.
I mean he's anchored in, fishing or doing something.
You had a very large boat with its bow way up as a result of how quickly it was moving, and a significantly smaller boat with 3 guys in it just sitting there stationary. I think the thing that gets me about that accident the most and what really haunts me is that I am a world-class swimmer. I mean, I have been a lifeguard. I have won a lot of ribbons. I'm very, very good in the water. Those guys were helpless. I mean, if I'd been in that situation, I'd be just as dead as they, because and I'd be infuriated by that. I would just be like, I'd be in heaven. I'd be like, how could this possibly be? I'm a good swimmer.
And I don't mean to make light of this situation, but I think of the part in Caddyshack where the guy's in the boat and the ship, the
Right.
boat that they've already done the champagne, and his eyeballs get really big and he jumps out of the boat.
Yeah.
These guys didn't even have a split second
Nope.
to get out of that boat. That's how fast this guy was coming.
It was
And
insane.
some people said, well, it was, some of the screens that he has up that kind of guide him to where he needs to be. And yes, maybe the boat being tilted up a little bit in the front, he didn't see him because they were directly in front of his boat.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, there's got to be some changes in this so we never have an accident like this, because this could have been avoided, easily could have been avoided.
Well, this is exactly what happens now is that, like you say, lawsuits fly and people say, well, where's the permit for the, we didn't have the permit. You didn't have a permit.
Yeah, now you're bringing in
for this
more
fishing
people.
tournament. And now, suddenly we're suing the tournament, we're suing the boat maker. Everybody and their brother gets slapped with a subpoena. The Guntersville Open, including its Black Friday and New Year's Day tournaments, has been permanently shut down. Organizers cited growing liability concerns and responsibilities tied to hosting tournaments as reasons for ending the events. Yes, you are responsible. Once you have, you bring people into your tournament and you put them on the lake and they're out there for, this is funny. In radio, we have this thing that is a disclaimer. A lot of times you have to sign one of these before you engage in something, before you get involved in something. And one time they wanted me to, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think it was like a drag racing situation. This is another radio station. They wanted to put me in a drag racer, and they wanted me to go, at 160 miles an hour in a straight line to down here. And I was like, I'm not trained to do that. And they're like, yeah, but it's going to be good. It'll be good for the radio station, whatever.
Well, and maybe not good for you.
Yeah, we just need you to sign this disclaimer. And I'm like, oh, no. If I wreck this thing, it's because you're making me do it. And so you will absolutely pay for any hospital bills or anything that involves me being injured as a result of this. And they were like, okay, never mind. Don't do it then. There you go. I'm not doing it. I mean, if you get involved in one of these tournaments, you wouldn't be out on the lake except for the fact that you're in a tournament. No wonder the victims' families are suing the people who organized the tournament. It makes sense. So, I think it's right that we got to start enforcing these permits and things of that nature, because this was an entirely avoidable accident, in my opinion.
It sure was. These three men should not be dead, and I understand, why the families are filing these lawsuits. And again, if protocol wasn't followed and, they weren't checking off what they needed to. And I know some are like, oh, that's enforcement, those permit requirements. They've never checked those. We've never done it. We've never had three people die like they died.
Yeah.
And if there's a way to prevent this again, then let's go ahead and, enforce the permit requirements.
It just makes sense. Maybe re-rack the entire process and start over. I've got a friend who is a professional angler. He gets involved in these contests all the time, has won a few of them, has told me some great stories about how miserably he's failed at some of the others. But I can imagine how this could get a little janky, if it's not a golf tournament, guys, it's a little bit more involved than that. And that, you could kind of start cutting corners here and there. And the next thing you know, it's sort of an ad hoc thing, and you're collecting a lot of money and you're not handing a lot of prizes out. And you're making buku bucks running a fishing tournament that is almost on par with cockfighting. It's like you're that close to being illegal. So let's maybe get things back on solid footing here, and then we can restore the number of fishing tournaments we have in Alabama, because we got a lot of lakes.
Oh, yeah.
We got a lot of fishermen.
We are covered up in lakes in Alabama.
So we don't want to stop doing them. We just want them to actually be on the up and up and completely legal and follow the regulations and all that good stuff. 845 Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. 8:50, Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. The only manly song David Gates ever actually did. Yeah. Rest of them all kind of wussy, really.
Oh,
Come on, David Gates.
that's great.
Bread.
It's good stuff.
Of course, you're a
What's wrong
girl.
with bread?
You're a girl. You would think so.
Come on.
Yeah.
It's good music. Come on. That's right, David.
She's really into it.
Telling you guys, you're missing out. Play some David Gates for her.
8:51. Oh no, for her, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's we all know those tricks. I'm not kidding anybody.
We know those tricks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
But if people are suing, and this happened at one point, Ozzy Osbourne got sued because they thought that his music drove a kid to attempt suicide.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And Judas Priest was involved in something similar. I'm like, okay, well, can I somehow
what?
sue David Gates and Dan Fogelberg for
your
making
wedding,
me
for
making
your-
me a wimp,
For your marriage?
for having to listen to that wimpy nonsense and giving me
No,
no
you can't sue
backbone, and
them,
I've got
no.
a Casper Milquetoast now. That music did it to me. I hold them responsible. I blame them. You know what the problem was? No permit.
No
That's what the real
permit.
problem
Really?
was.
That was it.
Number of people that are writing in and texting and saying like, "Hey, a permit wouldn't have saved anything." The permit is a symptom.
Protecting, yeah. It's
The permit is a symptom, not the problem.
Yeah,
okay?
exactly.
If you're a permitted fishing tournament, then you probably have some fairly strict rules, and you can tell people, no, you're not going to be traveling at 60 or 70 miles an hour on this lake while you're doing this. That's not how this works.
Well,
you know?
and they're protecting themselves. If there's supposed to be a permit and no one's enforcing it,
Yeah.
kind of like the truck drivers out in California, the 18-wheelers, they can't even speak English, and yet they were handing them permits to be able to drive these trucks.
Yikes.
Somebody's going to be held responsible, and that's what they're saying. Look, the permit is there. We've not been enforcing it. We have to do our job. We don't know that that's going to stop another boat crash.
No.
But certainly everybody's checking off all of the things that they are supposed to do when there comes a time for a tournament. And they can say, yes, we went through the process and they checked, they got their permit and everything is good.
At the very least, it might keep you from being sued. At
And
the
that's
very least.
and that's really what all this is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do you do to stop something like this again? I don't know. Maybe you don't allow the boats to go across the water at 50 miles an hour.
I think you do have to have some, regulation of speeds. And I understand that, bass fishermen are trying to get from point A to point B. The old saying, if you want to fish, you want to ride in a boat all day.
Right.
Yeah, I get it. I understand. But you still have to engage in basic safety practices, kids.
And apparently this guy wasn't.
No,
He
clearly
was.
not.
He either had his vision blocked in some way, so you fix that, so your vision isn't blocked when you're moving a boat. It's like going down the road with your eyes closed on the interstate.
Yeah.
I mean, we just don't do that. And he
Well,
was
you
he
don't.
was either distracted in some way, wasn't looking forward at all, or something was blocking his vision.
miss.
Otherwise, that would have never happened.
Exactly. All right, enough about that. It's a little depressing. Let's stop
It
that
is sad.
conversation right now.
Okay.
Here is a good piece of news. Pepsi-Cola, who, by the way, doesn't just own Pepsi-Cola. They also have Frito-Lay, They make Doritos, they make Cheetos, they make Tostitos. They make all the Eatos, okay? They are going to trim their product line by about 20%. Eliminate 20% of the current product line by early next year, and that is going to free up some capital to increase marketing investment and deliver enhanced value, which is code for we're going to cut prices.
Yeah.
We're going to reduce the price on some of this.
Look out, Coca-Cola.
Well, it's not so much the Pepsi for me as it is the Tostitos and the Cheetos and the Eatos. That's really, you and I have discussed this. $7.59 for a bag of Doritos. That's
insane.
You've
I'm
lost
not paying
your mind.
it.
No.
I don't pay it, and I don't.
No.
I don't care. I wait for it to go on sale, and well, do you need potato? No, I don't. I don't have to have potato chips, Cheetos, or Doritos.
The last time I bought any Dorito product was for a taste test here. And we did it, and then I took the rest of them home, and they sat in my cabinet, and I ate them occasionally until they got stale, and then I threw them away, which I couldn't possibly have finished that bag on my own anyway. I just don't eat that much of that kind of stuff. But I'll tell you this. You're starting to see these generic products, the store brands, A, they're stepping up their game to make a better product, and B, you can still get a bag of potato chips for $2.59 or $3 or whatever, and people are beginning to gravitate toward that, which is going to put a big dent in PepsiCo's bottom line, which is why they have to do stuff like this. And I would say others need to start looking at it as well. I'm looking at you, Rolled Gold.
Hey, there's the free market for you, too.
Yeah.
If more and more people, we talk about the Aldi brand,
Mm-hmm.
not bad. They've got a bag of potato chips. I think if your kids saw it, they wouldn't know whether it's Lay's or it's Aldi.
I did get some Clancy's chips once, and I will say I was disappointed. I was
Well,
like,
again, they're not
Yeah.
not what you're used to
No.
but when you talk about the prices, when you're talking about $7 and $8, especially those of you with big families and lots of kids and needing snacks and things like that, my word, you are spending a fortune buying the regular priced potato chips right now.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's insane.
that bag of, it's like, how much profit do you actually have in a bag of Doritos that's $7.59? What's your profit in there?
Again, how much marketing
$6?
are they
Are
doing?
you making
This
$6 a bag?
There's a ton of marketing going on, though. So they turn around and they use it to try to persuade you to buy more of their products. And I think Chester Cheetah just signed a new contract, and he stuck it to him. He was very, very bad as a spokesperson. He was just mean.
Oh, well.
Yeah, you got to, and they're always coming up with new stuff as well. And if you understand how the advertising cycle works, you pretty much have to. You have to constantly be shoving something new in front of people to remind them that you're here and to get people who are, because otherwise, I've been eating Doritos for a really long time. I think I'm going to drift off and try something else. Well, if you're the one who makes the something else, then you're still going to get their money, which is really important. It's like we always say, if you're not going to listen to us, we wish you would listen to Jocks. If you're not going to listen to Jocks, listen to Hot 107.7 or listen to Jocks 2 or listen to Jocks 3. We want to keep you in this family because we need your ears to be here nonstop, Well, if you're not going to eat Cheetos, make the move over to Doritos. If you're not going to eat nacho cheese Doritos, then have the ranch
Lay's potato
Doritos.
chips or something
eat
else.
some Lay's or eat some Cheetos or make your move from one to another and just stay in the family. Well, it costs a lot to develop these new products. So, yeah, this is why these bags are $7.80 or whatever. But I think Pepsi-Cola is doing it right. They're going, how about we take some of these products that aren't performing that well, we stop making them, we repurpose that money and maybe cut some of the prices on the stuff that because,
Again, when you're in that aisle where all the chips are, I'm not beholden to any particular product. There's a couple things I like, my go-tos. But if I see a brand of regular potato chips and one's cheaper than the other, I'm going for the cheaper one.
Yes,
I'm
you
not
are.
buying the one.
Yes, you are.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
it's like,
You're
Pepsi, this is kind of smart on your part.
You're
Drop
saying
some of
you're-
those products and drop the price, and people will probably compare your product to somebody else's. It's cheaper. That's where they're going.
You are very cheap, is what I'm hearing.
That's
what I
right
hear
now
from
I
you.
am. When it
Yes.
comes to soft drinks and potato chips, it's out of control.
By the way, Hanukkah starts on the 14th, just so you know. I'm not suggesting anything. I just want to, it starts the night of the 14th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you need a gift then?
Happy
Richard?
Hanukkah. 9 o'clock with Dixon and I just figured your people would want to celebrate. So, Steve gets a turn
Yes.
coming up in the next hour.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be about Die Hard again, is it? No? Okay. That's good news. That was a rollicking hour yesterday. Stick around. Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com.